Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are doing a soft girl Valentine's Day makeup look. So everything pretty and pink and sweet, but not too costume-like, okay? Of course, it's me. I don't do like super strong, intense makeup looks here on this channel. It just doesn't really suit with me and my vibe. But we're gonna just lean in towards the feeling, the mood of Valentine's Day, Galentine's Day, all that stuff, or just a pink kind of lead makeup look. So, well, any time of the year, really. Yeah, and I have a few different little new products that we're going to do together. And yeah, let's get started on that. But first, if you consider subscribing to the channel, that would really mean a lot to me. It's completely free. You can subscribe for free. You will just be notified when I post a new video, which I do every single Sunday. And that's it. Let's get started. So on my skin, I have already just prepped it with some of this. This is the By Terry Brightening CC Serum. This just leaves a really gorgeous glow to the skin, radiance and hydration, and this is in the shade White Rose. Everything will be linked down below as well, so don't worry about that. It'll be all down there. And for my foundation, for the base, I'm going to be using the pink one from TIRTIR, obviously, because it is the pink direction of makeup. And this is their Mask Fit foundation, Mask Fit All Cover foundation, and I use the shade 21N Ivory. It's really nice. I have the red cushion in all the shades, and I've experimented with lots of shades around this kind of region, and I've found that 21N is my, it's my happy place. It fits for me. Stippling this on with the sponge that it comes with. You can actually also apply this like just with a makeup brush and dab that into the sponge if you prefer makeup brushes. The foundations are beautiful, but you may not like this sponge formula, so you could totally just grab, like, open up the cushion, get rid of the sponge, and just take a foundation stippling brush and stipple that in and apply it that way. There's no reason why you can't do that. And then you can wash this a little bit more frequently if you wanted. The sponges, they don't bother me. I like it. I do find it takes longer than applying it with your fingers, like just massaging on your foundation that you guys see me do quite regularly. This is quite high coverage. I do feel like this one, compared to the red one, has a little bit more glow to it. Not as much as the silver one. I actually have all the shades. I have the pink, the silver, and the red one they sent me. So let me know if you would like a comparison video between all of them. I could totally do that if you are interested in these TIRTIR products. I would be able to do that for you. So it gives a real good coverage, but also it's, it's glowing a little bit more because we have put this By Terry product underneath, and that is shining through. My brows, I don't really feel like I need that much because I tinted them and laminated them 2 days ago. So these are my brows, freshly tinted and laminated. I will just fill in a tiny bit on the tail, just because with these lights, everything looks a little bit more blurred out, essentially. That was with my trusty Benefit Cosmetics pencil. So this makeup look is all about the eyes. We're adding the pink to the eyes, and I bought this palette especially for this tutorial because I just wanted to find a palette that really spoke to this direction and this vibe that I'm trying to create. This is from a Korean brand. This is called Dasique. Am I saying it right? I don't know. I've never heard anyone pronounce this, so that was my interpretation of the word. And it's a really gorgeous, soft pink palette. They have this in stores here at our like pharmacies here in Hong Kong, but I actually picked this up from iHerb because it was on better offer. Yes Style, Amazon, I'm sure you can find this actually loads of places. They have a lot of beautiful eyeshadows. The mattes in here are really buttery and beautiful, but I'm not all that impressed with the shimmer comparing to that Anastasia Beverly Hills palette that I bought recently, the one called Spice. Those shimmers and glitters are phenomenal. These are a little bit more transparent, just not as much comes off onto your finger or onto your brush. But that also is like what Korean makeup is about. It's not the glitters and stuff they often use can be quite dispersed over the eye rather than really intense layers of it. So I don't know, maybe there's a theory to that, or it is just not an expensive palette, so a quality thing as well. So first I'm going to put a base of nude tone down on my eye with this color here, the kind of, it's a bit of a pinky nude, and just dust that all over the eyes. Whenever I'm doing an eyeshadow look, I really like to just get a layer down on the skin of a very non-competing type of color. So I'm going to build up a little bit of a crease, and I'm going to use this color and pop into this one as well. Those two bottom ones, even though that looks really light there, they do come out quite strong on me, as you can see there. So buffing that over, actually bringing it in quite far, which is not something I often do, but we're going to enhance it, really blurring it out on the outer corner there. And this is such a pretty pink. And these mattes really do blend nicely. They are very buttery. Something you would expect in a like a NATASHA DENONA or Anastasia Beverly Hills. That color, I'm going to take the first brush again that we applied the nude color on and just buff around that edge again. So we're going to do a little bit of like a cut crease. So this is the darker shade, and then we're going to have a lighter shade on the inner corner of the lid, not those 2010 type cut creases that you're imagining. The way I'm going to do this is by taking a really strong concealer, popping it on the back of my hand. This is a shade that is a little bit too light for me, but it's perfect for what we're going to be using on. Picking up a small brush, like this brush is a synthetic brush, so it's acceptable for using it for cream products. And we're going to cut the crease, so they say. This is essentially a base, like an eyeshadow base, to allow the glitter shimmer shade to really pop. So starting, you could also like look straight ahead, and this is the region where we want to apply it and blur it out, not starting all the way here with a cut crease, just here. See that? You map that out. You want to be able to see it when your eye is looking straight ahead. Place that, then you can kind of open up the lid and blend it on. And the edge, we do not want it to be super crisp. You can be blurring that out. Use your finger to pat it out. All the edges to be blurred, not that traditional 2000s cut crease. This is just to really add lightness here and something for the glitter to stick on. So the other side, I'm looking ahead, making sure we can see it when I'm straight ahead. I really like this technique. It's not something I do all that often, but I might do it a bit more, because I feel like for my type of eyes, if you have similar eyes to me, it really helps our eye shape, because I have very deep set eyes. You could say hooded They are, technically they're more deep set, and it makes them appear to be hooded. But in actual fact, they're just very deep set. And it makes our eyes look like we have a lot of contours already. So that's why darker shadows don't tend to look that great on me. They look really heavy really quickly because I already have natural shadow from how my anatomy is. So blurring all the edges, that's why a brush like this that's small but has a little fluff to it is helpful. So we've got that brightness, that looks fun already. You can go back in with a little bit of that shadow that we put on the crease. If a bit of that got eaten up, add a bit more. Always can build up later. That's why it's better to just slowly add things to the eyes. And now we're going to go in with this glitter that is up the top here. This really like icy, frosty glitter. I'm going to first apply with my fingers because that's what gives us a good payoff. Though with this shadow, it's not that, I don't know, coming out. Press that on. Ooh, it's very pretty with these lights. I hope you can see that. I'm also going to use another brush as well. Sometimes you can kind of get in there and kind of break up the top layer on the shadow and get a bit more pigment coming out onto your brush. And really just placing that over the top of the bright concealer, trying not to put it up onto where we put the darker pink color. Laying that on, and then as you get to the outer edge, just softening it a lot less. So I'm going to take a little bit of this one here, which is a little more pinky, and it does come up a lot better, and just place that more on the center part on both sides. So pretty. Hope you can see that, where the pink is really based and pushed back the brow bones and allows for this brighter shade to really stand out in a way. I'm going to just add a little bit more with our fluffy brush on the, there we go. Now I want to bring that around the corner. Like I say, everything needs to be brought around the corner for things to look more put together and finished. So I'm taking a small smudging brush and we're going to wrap that around the corner on the eye, on the lower lash line with that pink shade, and then opens up your eye and makes everything look more put together. Now I'm going to take this one here, which is a little bit darker, and a little bit of this one. Us makeup artists can never just pick one eyeshadow. And I'm going to put that just on the outer corner of my eye here, just to create a little depth. And I'm picking up just the dark one and putting that on the lower lash line on the outer corner, just to build up intensity and give the eye a little bit more drama on the outer corner. Can you see the difference between that? It's not an eyeliner, but it's just a little bit more of a depth of halo effect there compared to that eye. So that's the darkest brown in the palette with a smudging brush. Really just blurring it. Soft lines. Again, this is like a soft girl look. We are not going harsh. And then we're going to take the big fluffy brush and just make sure everything's blurred. Pretty. We need some mascara to complete the look. I'm going to curl my lashes. Really want to curl your lashes. Focus on lifting the outer corner to get that really flirty look. I find it, if a tip, if you find it hard to get your outer lashes actually in the clamp, really, when you're doing this eye, look down that way and it exposes these lashes a little bit more. So we're doing this eye. I've got them, I'm looking at the mirror, and as the last second before I clamp, I look down towards the ground on my opposite shoulder and then clamp slowly. Anything hurts, it means that you've got skin. So with the other side, putting them in position just before I clamp, I look down towards my opposite shoulder, and I find that that really helps angle those outer corner lashes into the lash curlers. Fabulous. This is also a K-Beauty mascara. This is from Clio. This is the Kill Lash Superproof Mascara Film Fixing. And that really is what it is. It's a very small brush head, but it's called Superproof. So I'm putting it to the test because I do find it hard to find mascaras that do not smudge. This one does take so much more effort to actually get some thickness and fullness, but it is brilliant at keeping them separated. I will say that. If you really struggle with clumping and mascaras not separating the lashes, this is great. Adds a little length, adds darkness, obviously, but it's not giving all that much thickness and volume to the lashes. So I do find I kind of go in twice, but it doesn't get clumpy. It's quite good. But really nice to find lashes. I do really like it. Again, with all these things I'm discovering from Korea that are very long lasting, it's easy to agree with them right now, but I will try them all again. Oh, in the summer. Oh dear. Let it dry and we will fix it in a minute. So that's the mascara on. So if you have a boo-boo like that with the mascara, let it dry, and often you can just buff it off. Now we need to finish off with the rest of the face. You can wipe away any of the fallout that has been created. There is definitely glitter everywhere. For concealer today, we are going to be using the NATASHA DENONA concealer. This is, I think, the Hy-Glam concealer under the eyes. This isn't like my favorite, but I'm giving it more tries. I'm giving it, you know, another round of testing. I did find it originally too liquidy and like just sliding around too much, but that was in the summer. It's a little bit better for the winter time here, and we set it with powder so it locks. For the face, for the bronzer and blush, I'm going to be using this palette. This is a gorgeous palette from Florasis, a Chinese brand, and it's just a very convenient palette. I take this to the gym with me when I do my makeup. We've got blush, bronzer, highlighter, and I don't really know what that powder is for. I don't use it that much. It's just a really matte cream nude color, but the highlighter is gorgeous as well, and mostly I'm using the blush and bronzer. So we're going to take a fluffy brush, go into the bronzer, and I'm doing this while my concealer is just like drying down a little bit, because the NATASHA DENONA concealer is very liquidy and thin, and I just like my concealers to get a little bit more grip to them, so letting them sit for a minute is really helpful. If they're not the concealer that sets super fast, you will just get to know that about each concealer that you're wearing, and that's why it does take a few times to form opinions on things sometimes. This palette is great though. This bronzer is not too red, I find. And the blush will go beautiful with this makeup we've done today. Okay, let's go back to the concealer. I'm going to use a concealer brush with this one. This is a Real Techniques one. This is called Kitten Paw. It's so cute. Often I just use my fingers, but today they're a little bit glittery. So in an effort to keep it really quite clean underneath, I will be using this brush. Let's set the under eyes and areas of the face. Again, with the Chinese brand, they sent me a whole load of stuff. This is Florasis. I'm so impressed with the design of this packaging. This is a loose powder at the back here, you can see. And this is like a purple shade. Purple is big this year. So loose powders can be so tedious and messy, but this one you twist off like this. And there's the puff inside, which I don't really use, but it is gorgeous and fat. And then you open it, and there's the powder. And it's like behind, I like ones that are behind the net for personal use, because it doesn't get all messy. So I'm going to use my own puff, just because I like the triangle aspect of it. You load it up. Okay, the powder's going everywhere. You get the powder, and we take it and press under our eyes. This is a very brightening type of powder. You don't see the purple tinge. It's really just a tiny tint of purple. Not quite as purple as the new Huda powder, which I do want to try, kind of. Tell me, are you going to try it? Are you going to experiment with any purple makeup this year? So that's just sets, makes the concealer crease less early, is what it will, but it always will crease eventually. There we go. And now just that area of the cheeks is a little bit more matte, and we can apply blush. So I'm picking up some of the blush from the palette. It's a really like rosy, muted rose color. Blushing, lots of very romantic vibes happening, I feel like. Pretty. Now we have the lips to go. So for lips, we are going to use lip liner and lipstick. Really nice, long-lasting formula. This is from Fenty Beauty, and it's a little bit of a deeper lip liner. This is one of those lip liners that is like a gel formula, so it does set. So you do have to work quite quickly. So I've put it on and I've blurred it out with my fingers because I don't want the edge to be super crisp and sharp, because this is like a more romantic look. And I think the color goes really nice together. Then we're going to pat on a little bit of this lipstick. This is Velvet Teddy from MAC Cosmetics. Always love the smell of these. They're so like classic. Pressing that in like a bit of a stain. Nice. There we go. You've got a defined lip. This will last like really well on the lips because you have that lip liner facing it. This is the matte, very defined lips. I want to put a little bit of gloss on it. It's just me. I love gloss. I'm going to go get a gloss. Okay, I have two glosses. These are little ones from Rimmel. No one talks about these. They're nothing fancy. This one is a really pearly, icy pink, and then this is a lot more pink. I think this one will go nicely with the icy pearly area on the eyes. The reason I like these is, I mean, it's cheapy. I go through these so often. It's the smell. I mean, a lip gloss is a lip gloss. I'm not that, sensitive about lip glosses, but it's the smell of these. You're going to laugh when I tell you why. The smell, some reason it reminds me of sunscreen. It smells very like cosmetic sunscreen vibe. I don't know. Do you have one of these? Do you get that feeling? Because I do, and I love that about it. But I think that's probably a little bit niche, and maybe not everyone will feel that way about this product. There we go. Glossy lips are just so much better for me. So much more romantic. I don't know if your date will appreciate that when you're, on a date. But that is the makeup look completed. Very rosy, warm, pinky makeup look, all focused around, this palette from Dasique, Korean. We have a lot of Korean and Chinese brands here today. We've got MAC and then by Terry. And this will be linked down below as well. Of course, as with everything else, very happy with how it's looking. I love how this inner corner is popping with doing that technique with the concealer on the base of the eye there. It really helps enhance any tone of shimmer glitter that you're going to be using. I hope you like it. Also, what do you think of my hair, guys? I didn't do my hair essentially, so these are my natural curls, and often I kind of smooth this front bit and make it a little bit more put together and curtain bang like, but this is just leaving it like just the natural curls the way they form and just kind of pulling it back. It gets a bit more unruly looking, but I've had some feedback from some friends that I've known for a very long time, some constructive criticism, and they're like, they don't like it. They're like, it's not me. So I don't know. Is this more me? This one, I do need it colored again. It's getting a little bit dark. Yeah. Anyway, that's a tangent for another day. Thank you for watching. I really hope you like this. Any questions or, whatever you want to chat about, leave it in the description box. Let me know you're going to try this look. Are you going to try any of these products that I have introduced you to? They're quite, a bit niche. I don't know if everyone would know about these brands, but, I do live in Asia, so I do have access and exposure to a lot more unique brands, I would say, to the Western counterparts. And that's it. That's it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Please subscribe if you enjoyed this video as well. Bye.